Yeah. Press harder, Neil. We're at the Marion County Sherrifs Operations Center, the gang lair. Holy crying in the moogly mud. We got gang activity. I'm with Geo. Yeah. He's gonna go in and get some public information requests. I'm gonna go press harder on these tyrants for sure, because he has a hard time talking because he has a tracheotomy, and so he uses a voice box. And apparently they give him the run around here, which is shocking, I know. And he doesn't write very well, so they need to provide reasonable accommodations under the American Disabilities Act and write it down for him. But apparently he's been going through this process for years over here trying to get information, and they just give him the runaround. Basically, they just act like gang members. Who would have thunk, right? So this is a big gang lair they got. So I'm waiting for him to get out of the car and get ready. Yeah, Geo. It's spelled XX is Geo and then space X though, but pronounced Geo. On YouTube. He's been a fan of mine for years on Press On. And now he's watching Press Harder. Press Harder, Neil. Woo-woo. The people win again. It's a conspiracy. I usually don't get to meet too many peeps because I don't tell anybody where I am. But it just so happened that I knew he was in Ocala and I was in Ocala, and that's how the cookie crumbled. It's kind of like fate, destiny. Yeah. He's got like a big long selfie stick. We'll see it in a moment. Uno momento. Got a gang member driving in right now. Yeah, you ready?
Yeah, blue white round.
Yeah, the people win again.
Yeah.
It's a conspiracy.
Everything is now. We're coming back here. They called me up last week and said they have one piece of information for me. When I asked for 5 pieces of information.
5 pieces. You got 1 piece. Yeah. Press harder now.
And I've been coming here for 2 years. Twice a month. I've been coming here. So they sound like know me.
I pulled all that. Yeah, I already pulled all that.
We know that we respond to his crap,
You're welcome.
basically, you know what I'm saying?
I have 1 piece of paper to pick up. Yeah.
Okay.
They know me though.
Yeah.
Who did you make the request with?
It was no lawyer, police officer.
Okay. I got a call.
And now I might want to talk to him because, yeah, I asked for 5 different things.
Hello?
And he's only giving me 1.
Okay.
I'm not doing 1 thing at a time.
Okay, I will call him, let him know you're here and you want to speak with him.
Yes,
Okay. And then I'm gonna get that, the request they have put
for 30 cents.
Yeah, duty, correct?
If you wait 6
Deputy duty, it was all for that?
you must have had 6 months.
It was, Johnson, I believe. It was information on my age.
Okay.
Because I want all the information they wrote down when I came in to complain.
Yes, sir. Just bear with me 1 moment.
I'm probably the one that told my wife. I'm the one that's still, it's not a problem, I don't know, what's
No, he would. I've been trying to get an appointment with him for over 2 years.
He's the sheriff.
Yeah. Living in my house.
Obviously, you have to work out the waiting for housing relief, or they're going to have it if they can. But like I
I've
said,
had mine from Michigan and here, and
Yeah.
I was the president of the largest gun club in Michigan. And, you know, I just feel that that's your right and that's your safety.
you're right.
And we don't want to
I
hurt,
don't, you know.
we don't want to hurt.
And he doesn't against me that really.
Yeah.
Notice all these guys are crooked. Every last one. They do that on purpose to let you know. It's not by accident.
I am not done yet. That was only one of my few projects, and now I need to see somebody else that I don't have here. Absolutely.
I understand where you come from.
So now I need Tiffany and Star.
Wow, there's a lot of unsolved homicides.
I can do either one of those.
Hmm.
Like, yeah, and that's also something to think about too. But obviously, if things, that's, and I'm sure it boils your blood. I'm sorry.
Mine too.
Yeah. But like you said, they are your neighbors. Unfortunately, we can't pick and choose our neighbors. If things are somewhat cool right now, it's all right. You know, having a deputy go out there might entice him, it might anger him, or might irritate him to where he comes out. Every morning he's gonna find something about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he does, like I said, if things escalate,
So an officer is coming out here to meet you?
The lawyer officer.
The FOIA officer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand.
Oh, cripes.
Give me 30 cents for the request.
30 cents for a request.
And on my I never ran the pennies.
Wait, that's just for the request or for the actual, for receiving
That's
the...
for however much the request. This is for the papers he's receiving on the request.
Oh, it's not for the request, it's for actually getting the
For
information.
printing it out.
Yeah, the request is free, okay, but getting the, okay.
If we print it out
Yes.
for you and
But you also offer like email or something like that too, right? Okay.
yes. Okay, I'm gonna let him know that you're here and you want to talk.
Well, they're being nice to you today. They're being nice to you today. It's all an act.
I don't remember more years.
Yeah. They learned their lesson. What about that guy? They're in there trying to take somebody's gun rights away. Red flag law.
You see how the computers are facing the people. The laptops. For more years I don't turn them around.
Oh, yeah?
They won't do it.
They won't do it. They don't care. Well, it's not really top secret information. They really don't need to be hiding all that stuff.
No, it is the people's information. When they find the people's name, it's something like there's a word you can videotape it. I've done it.
You've done it?
Yeah.
So what'd you get? Any good stuff?
That's what I'm looking to find out. I'm a slow reader.
All right, take your time. I haven't seen the sheriffs pull anybody over in this town.
They do.
Oh, I know, but I'm just saying I haven't seen any. I've only seen the Ocala police and I've seen a trooper. Every day I seem to catch Ocala police catching somebody, but they haven't been writing tickets. At least not in that part of town. I don't know about other parts.
Trying to go around it. Okay. How's it going, man?
Good, how are you doing?
Not too bad.
Can I get your name, Deputy?
Ramirez.
Ramirez, yeah. Man, you guys are really camera friendly here. I like that. You've been through it.
I got my camera too, man. I got it too sometimes.
You've been through it, I can see.
Yeah.
This is how they should
I'm
act.
telling you, we trained them.
Yeah, obviously, you can tell.
Road Nation, me, James Raymond, no James Madison,
James Madison.
sorry, you guys gotta change your name. But I love you all.
James Freeman's awesome. James Madison. Rogue Nation, yeah. You mind if I come in here and...
Oh, you're good, sir.
Yeah.
Got no problem with it, man.
Excellent. And how long have you been on the department?
I've been on the road now for about 2 years.
On the road?
Yes, on the road, yeah.
You're on the road right now?
No. I'm saying I work patrol usually, but obviously I'm just filling in for the afternoon shift until 5 o'clock today.
Oh, you're just filling in?
Yes, yeah, I'm just filling
You're
in.
not actually on desk duty.
No,
like
no.
Usually everybody on desk duty is like they're in trouble and they have attitudes.
No, we just right now. I mean, everybody's doing so. As far as I know, everybody's doing all right though. So whenever I come out at at the afternoon, they just ask me to fill in until 5 o'clock until we close. So
Yeah.
And then I go back on the road and I work until midnight. So my shift is noon to midnight.
Noon to midnight.
Yes, sir.
And there's a lot of unsolved homicides there. I'm glad you guys have it up on a board.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, I'm just saying, I'm glad that you are
Make it aware.
actually
make it
publicizing that. It's not just your fallen officers that you have on the wall.
Gotcha. All
You
these cold
actually
cases,
have
what you're talking about right
citizens.
here?
That board right there
Yeah.
of all the unsolved homicides, right? You don't see that in every station, right? I mean, in every one, you always see their fallen officers.
Yeah.
But you don't see,
The cold cases that haven't been
the
solved,
cold
yeah.
cases, right? Because it's the crimes that the people care about. If you guys are
Unfortunately,
solving
yeah.
sucks,
Yeah.
we'd love you.
It sucks,
You know?
man. It's Charlie, like all those TV shows that they have and everything like that. In reference to, every state has their own, their own.
Oh, like America's Most Wanted?
Yeah, like that, something like that. All those things, man. It's crazy. It sucks, and unfortunately, things, people get away with it, and it happens. So
It's hard to solve crimes. You need the help of the people in order to do it.
yeah, I mean, and
Almost
definitely
every
people have-
time,
Yeah.
like a lot of times you can
Why is the flag at half mast?
Oh, why is the flag at half mast?
I think
Is it over Ukraine?
I have no clue. I think we got an email about it or something like that. Why it was at half staff, but I'm not sure exactly why.
I notice you don't have the POW flag.
POW, which one is that one? That's
The POW, prisoners of war flag?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's not there. You have a sheriff's flag underneath the
American flag is what you're talking about?
There's the American flag, and then there's the Florida flag, and then there's the sheriff's flag. But most government agencies have the POW flag.
Gotcha. Unfortunately, that's not on my, that's not one of my job duties, so I don't.
Right.
Unfortunately, my word doesn't really mean much.
I do have a question for him.
Go ahead.
What's up, man?
How do you feel about freedom?
How do I feel about freedom?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very vague. I don't know what you mean.
How you feel about freedom? Yay or nay?
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for freedom. I mean,
You're all for freedom?
Huh?
You're all for freedom?
I mean, I guess so. If
Well,
you guys are asking.
do you think you're free?
I believe so, yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Even though you're charging for your services?
What do you mean?
I mean, you can't be free if you're not free, and you're not free because
in
you're
free?
charging for your services.
Free as in, well, I mean, what do you mean free though? Like,
Okay, like you see me, right?
Okay.
I'm one of the people,
okay, you're
right?
talking
I don't have to wear a uniform,
okay,
right? I don't have to put all my pins in a certain spot. I don't have to sit at the desk. I can leave when I want, and
Yeah.
you can only leave when you're off of work. You have a
Okay.
schedule,
yeah.
right? So we're seeing some really good examples of how you are not free,
Well, it's
right?
just,
You don't have rights.
I mean, I
I
do
do.
have rights, yeah.
What right?
Not when you're working.
Yeah, I mean, no.
You're
I mean,
under
yeah.
oath.
Yeah,
You're a
right.
servant
Yeah.
of the people.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I'm good.
Only the people have rights.
Mhm.
The right of the people to peaceably assemble.
Mhm.
The right of the people to keep and bear arms.
Mhm.
It doesn't say the right of the servants of the people.
Mhm.
You see, you can't be a servant and be one of the people at the same time.
Yeah, I know. That's why. I mean, I understand that when I took this job.
Everybody that has a job,
Yeah.
they lose their rights, right? Like
I guess so,
You
yeah.
can see like children in a school, they don't have rights. They're in the custody
Mm-hmm.
of the school. And when they're not at school, they're in the custody of their parents.
Mm-hmm.
When somebody's in custody, they don't have rights. They can't just come and go as they want,
Yeah.
right? They have to do what they're told.
I understand where you're
And
coming
if
from.
you have to do what you're told, you're not, one of the people,
Yeah.
right? So you're a servant of the people,
Yeah, I guess
right?
you put it
So
that way, yeah.
yeah, but like the Constitution says you have some rights,
Mhm.
like the right to vote,
Yeah.
but actually that's a privilege. Even though it's-
yeah, because obviously if you
You have to
Yeah.
register.
You have to register, and then obviously people who have had, if they're, I think it's convicted.
Yeah, not all
Not all
citizens.
citizens. Can
Not
vote,
all
yeah.
citizens have the right to vote, but
You're
there's
right.
some reasons why a citizen cannot be prevented from voting.
Yeah.
But they didn't list they listed 7 reasons why you cannot be disqualified.
Gotcha.
But there's a million others, right? They didn't say you
Yeah,
can't.
and unfortunately,
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with all of them. Yeah, I mean.
No, I'm saying there's a million reasons why you could be theoretically disqualified from voting,
yes.
right? Like age is one. That if you're under 18,
yeah.
you can't vote. If you're a felony, maybe depending on the state, right? Or a misdemeanor, right? There's all kinds of things. If you don't have an ID,
A lot of
if you don't have
factors that play into it,
a special ID, if you don't have, your signature doesn't match, right?
Yeah.
In lots of states, there's lots of reasons that are used to prevent somebody from voting, right?
Yeah.
So it's not a right, even though
Gotcha.
it's called a right in the Constitution
That's
3
where it's a
times.
privilege, yeah.
But they were wrong, right? Because rights you don't have to ask permission for.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, yeah.
Right, but you have to ask permission to exercise. You can't just go say anything you want. Even when you're off work, you could get fired for saying something on Facebook.
It's possible, yeah, that's it, unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, it's
That
really.
word right there wasn't polite either.
What was that? I'm sorry.
I believe you just said that.
Say that again.
Did you just say the M word?
Did I say it's not what?
The M word.
The M word.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you can.
That wasn't right, you're on duty.
Yeah, I mean, I don't do that even off duty. I try not
Even
to.
off duty, you're still. Any employer can fire you at any time.
Yeah,
right.
You're
But
right.
your employer is the government. Whereas somebody at Starbucks, their employer is not the government. So the government cannot tell them
'cause
what
it's up
to
to
do.
Their CEOs and
Yes.
their branch, yeah, and their
So
company.
if you work at Starbucks, in the eyes of the government, you still have rights. But in the eyes of Starbucks, you don't.
Yeah.
Right? In the eyes of the customer, you don't.
Yes.
The customer knows you're bought and paid for.
Yeah.
You're not free because you sold your services in exchange for money.
Gotcha.
And that's okay.
Uh-huh.
But once you sell out your rights,
Yeah.
you don't have your rights anymore.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from.
Right.
How you can look at it that way. Yeah.
Well, that's how the Constitution explains it, right?
Yeah.
It breaks down 2 paths.
Okay.
Do you have the Constitution?
I don't know.
Are you familiar with the 4th Amendment?
I'm familiar with it. Yeah, I can't verbatim word for word on it, but I'm familiar with it. Yeah.
Well, something happens at the 8th word of the 4th Amendment.
Mm-hmm.
The right of the people
Okay.
to be secure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, full stop. But then something changes. That's the last time you hear about people in the Constitution,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then it says in their, THEIR. There means ownership,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
persons,
Okay. Yeah.
houses, papers, and effects. So I'll say the whole sentence. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses,
Okay.
papers, and effects.
Yeah.
Right? Well, if the people own their person, because it's THEIR,
Mm-hmm.
then a person is a thing that can be bought and sold. It's a noun.
Gotcha.
A noun is a person, place, or thing.
Mm-hmm.
But people are not nouns. People cannot be bought and sold.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
And so we can't interchange the 2 words and say the right of the persons to be secure in their people.
Yeah.
That wouldn't make any sense, right? Right. So people have rights and persons have privileges and immunities,
Yeah.
duties, responsibilities, because with privilege comes responsibility.
Yeah.
But with rights, the only qualifier placed upon the people is to be peaceable. Right? That's
Yeah.
another clue that you're not one of the people.
Gotcha.
Because you don't have to be peaceable, right? You have to be reasonable.
Yeah.
And they're different.
Mhm.
Right? All the reasons in the world wouldn't justify Martin Luther King or Jesus to breach the peace, right? They wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
They would die first,
Yeah.
right on the hill,
Okay. Yeah.
right? And they would feel secure in their beliefs.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean they won't die. When it says the right of the people to be secure,
Yeah.
that doesn't mean nothing will happen to them.
Yeah.
It means that they feel secure,
Mm-hmm.
right, in their beliefs. And they're willing to, stand on that hill
Yeah.
until the end, right?
Yeah.
And that's rare. There's very few people.
Like that. Yeah.
Right. Most everybody is a person.
Yeah.
right? Because person is a persona,
Mm-hmm.
and that's your name.
Yeah.
Your name is your persona,
Yeah.
and it's not really what you are.
Yeah.
You can change your name, but you don't change.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. Yeah,
You see what I'm
don't
saying?
change as you are as a person.
Yeah,
You can
it's
change
your
identity.
character.
Yeah, you can change who you are. You know,
It's your character.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so the framers recognized that there were two paths. There was the path of righteousness, or there was the path of privilege, right? And in order to have freedom, okay, everybody had to be able to choose the path of privilege if they wanted to.
Yeah.
But once they choose it, they've chosen it. And in order to get their rights, they'd have to give up all those privileges and walk away. It doesn't mean they all just disappear like in a hot second.
Yeah.
But when you stop asking for things, right? Like me, I'm one of the people, right? I don't believe it's nice to call people names.
Yeah, I got you.
And that's my belief, and I don't use a name, right?
Yeah.
And because I don't use a name,
When you say you don't believe in names, you mean like I go by Ramirez, so you don't go by.
yeah, that's your persona.
Yeah. Okay.
Right, but I'm one of the people 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, right? So I never go in persona.
Okay, gotcha.
Right?
Okay, that's what I was just trying to
And
understand what
so
you were saying.
because I never go in persona, that eliminates me from a lot of privileges,
Gotcha.
right? Like anything that you'd need a name for, right? Getting a job, getting a driver's license, going on an airplane, voting, right? People don't vote, citizens vote.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
And a citizen is defined as a person, not people, right? See, there's a difference, right?
Yeah.
So the framers, they really knew what they were talking about.
Yeah.
They were very philosophical and understood, you know, that there was God or mammon, right? Righteousness or privilege.
Yeah.
And you can't have both at the same time. And where it changes is the 8th word of the 4th Amendment.
What are you talking about? Yeah.
Yeah, because see, at the top you have the people, we the people, the right of the people to peaceably assemble, you know, in speech and press and petition and religion, right? And the right of the people to bear arms, and then the right of the people to be secure. And then it changes to in their persons, houses, papers, and effects, right? Well, that's ownership. Right? And that's a belief that most of society believes in, even though you can't really own anything. It's not really yours, right? But yet the concept lives on.
Yeah.
Right? So if you want to own something, you have to put it in your name.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yes, because you can't own it, right? Like I can't own anything. See, if like I have this phone, I can keep it and I can bear it, but I can't own it.
Okay, got it.
Right? Like, because if I don't have a name, then how can I possibly own it?
How can you say, yeah, that's mine?
Yeah, I mean, I can say it's mine, but who's going to enforce it?
Yeah.
See, I'd have to go ask the government in order to, and how can I do that without a name?
Gotcha.
Right? It's a privilege to even have a government. I can't make you be an officer.
Yep.
I can't make a judge be a judge, and I can't make them hear my case.
You're right.
Right? And why would the people ask them to do it in the first place unless they cared what they had to say?
Yeah.
Right? They wouldn't. Right? Like, it's just a thing.
Yeah.
So if somebody stole the phone, I would just press on. I'd press harder. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd move on, right? Because it's just a thing and it's okay. It didn't change me. It's not attached to me. Right? But that's me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not, doesn't make me better or worse.
Yeah, I got you.
Right? There's two paths.
Yeah.
And they're both okay. But it is important to know that you can't be on both paths.
I got what you're saying, yeah.
Right? Even though many try. They try and go to church on Sunday and then get back to business the rest of the week.
Yeah, 6 days a week.
Right.
1 day a week.
Right?
Yeah,
like right now,
obviously we ain't all perfect.
this is a great time to, there's a great example right now with Russia and Ukraine.
Yeah.
You know, and okay, so before Russia, okay, Saudi Arabia killed Jamal Khashoggi and cut him up into little pieces.
Yeah.
And so the peeps in this country had a moral crisis, and they said, we don't want to do business with Saudi Arabia, that's bad.
Yeah.
So we kind of tried to cut back on buying oil from them, and we didn't want to talk to them, right? And so in Venezuela, there's Maduro, and he, had an illegitimate election, supposedly,
Yeah.
right? And so peeps are like, oh, that's not a democracy. We have to support democracy.
It's
Sure.
fine, dispatch, real quick. Hey, Ramirez.
But just
Hey, what's up?
1 hour before and after.
No, hang on a second. How long can I get the video from a phone?
Which
A
phone is
day, 2 days.
it?
When they made a public record on with their phone.
Gotcha. What?
You're not understanding what he's saying? Is that what you're...
He's saying hours, 2 hours. I want everything I can get off of that record.
Okay.
He wants everything he can get off of that record? That's what he just said?
So, just dump the whole entire phone?
That's what I'm Lord of Rhythm Information Act is asking for, right?
You're
just
trying to
trying to narrow it
you're
down.
trying to get somebody's phone information?
That they don't figure on me.
Everything that can be released.
Okay.
If it, if there's something that can't be released,
Alright. We'll
obviously
do a
there are
reaction.
some special. I don't know whose phone it is. Is it an officer's phone that he's asking for?
New officer.
Oh man, we want it all, including the child porn that's on there for sure.
We want it. I want everything. I don't want names. And that's okay, but I want the abuse if they're taking the phone and just taking pictures of abuse.
But if one thing can't be provided, that doesn't mean that nothing can be provided, right? Everything that can be, for sure. Okay.
Okay. I was just concerned, if that
Yeah.
deputy has had an agency issued phone for, it's the same phone for 5-6 years maybe. If we weren't in that situation, then we're dumping the entire phone and then we have to look through all that to see.
And then there's a charge for that? Yeah. That's what I was worried about. Is see that they might charge you for all that work.
That's what I'm giving you today. March 12, 2018.
Oh, you just want everything from that date.
I can get you every
From that date, like all the text messages,
Okay.
all the pictures that he took.
Several days after, several days before.
Okay, so say from March 10th to March 14th?
Yeah.
Okay, how about that?